Dijakovic makes us go, wah! Keith Lee makes us go, wah! Finn Balor makes us go, wah! It's a lot of wahs. This is NXT Graded. We start strong with Bianca Belair taking on Rhea Ripley. As the match gets underway, Nigel McGuinness says to Beth Phoenix, "What's it like wrestling on live television?" Somewhere in an alternative reality, Desmond Wolfe sheds a tear and just doesn't know why. Grappling to start and strength to follow up. Bianca Belair very much plays the heel in this one, I notice. Just in the way that she carries herself and moves around the ring. She's the one that puts on like the abdominal stretch that tries to wear out Rhea Ripley. Ripley manages to fight back through this. She goes for her big ripcord clothesline. Belair rolls away from it. These two collide in the center of the ring. Both grab each other by their hair and sort of spin round before doubling down. It's quite a moment. It's that moment there that's on the blackboard behind me. Just take a look. It's good, isn't it? It's very good. Rhea goes for the mare's grasp. That's that figure four arm lock that she did on Aaliyah the other week, and she just swung around like a rag doll. She goes for it again on Belair, but Belair knows. She knows what this move's all about. She makes it to the ropes and manages to carry herself out of the ring to avoid it. Rhea quickly follows up with a cannonball that takes out Belair, throws Belair back into the ring, and it looks like Rhea's going to get in and win the match, but then suddenly Io Shirai just pops into existence, hits a 619 on the apron, and just almost knocks Rhea's teeth out. She rolls Rhea back into the ring where she eats a spear from Belair for 2.999. This caught myself and the Full Sail crowd completely off guard. Io Shirai is back on the apron. It looks like she's going to get involved. Out comes Candice LeRae to take out her old mate, to get that nonsense sorted, which gives Rhea Ripley the chance to hit the Riptide for the 1, 2, 3 on the EST. Well done, RR. Big win for Ripley in this one. It gets a B-, this opening match from me. I thought it was a really good collision between these two. Dipped a bit in the middle. Bit clunky at points, but a wonderful fake-out finish that genuinely caught me and Full Sail off guard. Big strong boys are outside of Full Sail University. Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate make their way towards the venue. Pete Dunne now lives in Florida, so I'm assuming that Tyler Bate is rooming with him for a couple of days. Good luck finding any decent black pudding in Florida. Absolutely no chance. Pete Dunne is talking about Damian Priest to Charlie Caruso. He says that there is a receipt coming for Damian Priest. Charlie also asks Dunne about Killian Dain. And Pete Dunne says, "I don't care about Killian Dain." Whoa. Sick burn, bro. Oh, talking of bro, it's like a plan that. Out comes Matt Riddle, one-on-one with Cameron Grimes. Cameron Grimes has the strategy as a wrestler as people who played SmackDown versus Raw had as games players, in that you just run and hit your finisher immediately and try and win the match dead quick. It did work last week against Boa. Didn't work this week for Matt Riddle because he went for the cave-in, only to get it quickly dodged by Riddle. Riddle goes for the final flash, misses that as well, and Grimes gets out of the way, and we're off and running. Matt Riddle basically just kicks the bejesus out of Cameron Grimes in this match. Something really peculiar happens about a quarter of the way through when the crowd start just chanting, "Riddle, Riddle," a la Goldberg. Matt Riddle responds by hitting a jackhammer for a 2.5. Matt Riddle is trolling Goldberg even in the ring. Riddle actually comes across as quite heelish in this match. Quite a few of his moves don't put away Cameron Grimes, and you just see the grimace on his face just get longer and longer. He spends a lot of time just walking around the ring and just kicking Cameron Grimes. I don't know whether this is part of something long form with Matt Riddle, where he just slowly becomes just a big old jackass. It could. I liked it a lot. What I also liked was the fact this felt like a coming out party for Cameron Grimes, who wouldn't be put away quietly by Matt Riddle. Manages to kick out of quite a few of Riddle's big moves. Grimes has a flash of hope when he goes for the top rope. Riddle cuts that off completely, hits a superplex for a 2.5, goes back up for the floating bro and eats the knees of Cameron Grimes. Then we just have a series of hard kicks, fast super kicks, big running knees, and then Cameron Grimes hits a diving low cross body block for a 2.5 count. This match kind of went from 0 to 1,000,000 in about 3 seconds flat. And Grimes is, just as I said a second ago, really holding his own against Riddle. Grimes has one more go at going for the cave-in, runs across the ring, and it gets countered into a powerbomb by Riddle. He then hits the Roderick for the 1-2-3. Matt Riddle wins the match. After which, he rolls out to the ring where Grimes is recovering, offers Grimes a fist bump, and Grimes isn't having it. Tell you who is having the fist bump, though. Tyler Bate, who's in the front row, offering out a fist. I'll give you our fist bump, Matt Riddle. I'll give you our fist bump. Fist bump to Riddle. And as Grimes gets back up, Tyler Bate is cutting him some jib about not taking the fist bump off Riddle. Grimes pushes Bate. Bate bops and bangs him back. This was a B+ from me. I thought this was a really strong outing for Cameron Grimes. I thought this was potentially some little seeds planted for a Matt Riddle heel turn. That's just my opinion. I'm probably wrong. And it was a cool way to bring Tyler Bate into the NXT from off of America mix. 6-man tag team shenanigans, and it's the Forgotten Sons against Breezango and Isaiah Swerve Scott. I think I know which bit of NXT Vince McMahon is writing. I believe it is the bit that Beth Phoenix says when Breezango are heading to the ring. They were dressed as pilots this week. So Beth Phoenix said she was asking Breezango about getting into becoming a pilot. Beth Phoenix said they responded by saying, "The key to a smooth ride is a good grip on the throttle." Sex joke! Breezango and Swerve start hot, but the Forgotten Sons absolutely shut them down, and they are just taking over on Tyler Breeze. Breeze eventually gets the hot tag to Fandango, who turns into a very mini house of fire for about 30 seconds. In comes Swerve Scott, who once again is a very brief house of fire. He eats this incredible triple team move from the Forgotten Sons, as you have Blake, Jackson, and Cutler. I'm trying to remember the corners they were in. All in turnbuckle, all on top turnbuckles. Blake hits a Hurricane Frankensteiner off the top rope onto Swerve that leads him in the center of the ring. And then you see Jackson, Riker, and Cutler come off the top rope with double headbutts. This is almost the 4-turnbuckle massacre from Ready to Rumble, but not quite as deadly. Swerve hits what is at this point the move of the night, but we're not at the main event yet. But at this point, this is the move of the night. We have Cutler and Blake on the outside of the ring. Jackson Riker is looking to suplex Swerve Scott into oblivion from the top rope. Swerve manages to get out of that, and as Riker is recovering on the apron, Swerve jumps onto the top rope, springboards onto the chest of Riker, and then moonsaults off Riker's chest onto Blake and onto Cutler. Mwah! Swerve. Or as Mauro Ranallo said on commentary, great Scott. Back to the Future reference. Fandango wipe out Cutler with a super kick party. We see Jackson Striker sent flying to the outside by Fandango, and that leaves Blake wide open for a big kick to the back of the neck by Swerve for the 1-2-3. Big win for Swerve over the Forgotten Sons in this. Giving this entire match a B, I think Forgotten Sons are really finding their voice now as just this triumvirate of muscle heads. It really works for them. And Swerve, oh my days, what an upside this guy's got. Killian Dain is chilling by a massive fire, and he's wrapping his fingers up. And he says, "Pete Dunne, you tried to break my fingers. Now I'm going to try and break you." Bless him. I felt quite sad for Killian Dain. I don't know. I think initially, when you cut to him, he looks quite sad. Just looking down at his hand, all hurt. I mean, he looks maniacal by the end, but that bit there, you feel like, oh, mate, I'm sorry you hurt your fingers. We're getting Dain and done. I'm looking forward to it. The NXT Cruiserweight Champion Lio Rush is out. They need to make that belt yellow. Purple doesn't work anymore. I want it a yellow belt. And it has to say NXT on it. There's just aesthetic things that just annoy me a little bit. Lio Rush is out to do commentary on the Cruiserweight Division match between Jack Gallagher and Angel Garza. And my days, 205 Live needs to come from Full Sail. This is the liveliest cruiserweight division match I have heard in a good while that isn't for the championship, just your standard division match. And it's this Full Sail crowd that makes it feel special. Great to see Jack Gallagher back in NXT, and what a reaction for Angel Garza. Last week they booed him out of the building when he tried to beat Tommaso Ciampa. This week, the ultra good guy, and he just absolutely rose to the occasion. Jack Gallagher isn't a fan of the silly buggers of Angel Garza. Garza goes halfway through this match to try and take his chaps off. You know, he does that bit where he rips off the chaps. Gallagher holds them up to stop him from doing it. So Garza just runs away. So as he runs away, Gallagher is just left holding the chaps. And we just have this image of Jack Gallagher just staring at another man's trousers whilst he gets kicked in the head. Gallagher tries to shut down the silly buggers of Angel Garza by holding him up for a deadlift vertical suplex. He also goes for a cross arm lock, but Garza's able to make it to the ropes. Once Garza gets to the ropes, boom, monkey flips Jack Gallagher to the outside. And Garza bounces off the ropes. It looks like he's going to go for a dive. Jack Gallagher ducks, which is the most sensible thing you can do when a guy's about to dive at you, but no one ever does it. Gallagher ducks his head, thinking there's a plancha coming his way. So Garza slows down, slides onto his knees, and then just slaps the back of Gallagher instead. This was fun. I like the adjustment in this. Despite a big Gallagher headbutt, Garza rallies and hits a Kilbrada for the 1, 2, 3. Big win for Angel Garza as he essentially debuts in the cruiserweight division. There was an announcement earlier in the week that he had gone to 205 Live, which is still a thing, I know. And so now he's part of the cruiserweight division. This was kind of his arrival in that division, and it was an excellent performance. So much so, this match is getting a B. I thought Garza was great. I thought Gallagher, as always, is great. And the crowd just really, really helped the cruiserweight division. Full Sail is the third man in this match, or third woman in this match, third entity in this match, seems like the fair way to say it. The number one contendership for the women's tag team title is on the line. It is Team Kick versus Marina Shafir and Jessamyn, Shayna Baszler's horsewomen. Now, I was excited to see Team Kick in action because I follow Dakota Kai on Instagram. I like Dakota Kai. Shut up. So I see a lot of stuff about the House Show tour that NXT go on where Team Kick were formed. And I'm thinking, is this the first time we have seen Team Kick on NXT TV? I can't remember off the top of my head right now. Pop in the comments, tell me I'm wrong. That'd be great. Big fan of Team Kick. And I enjoyed Shafir and Manduk as like the muscle for Shayna Baszler. I thought they looked a little bit, they didn't look as crisp as I thought they would in the ring. I thought they got a great look to them, but in terms of the moves and stuff, I don't know, it just, something about it I didn't quite get. I think Jessamyn looks insane though. Like, there is nobody on the women's division or in any division that looks like Jessamyn. Like, if you were to bump into her in a shop and knock something out of her basket, you'd be 4 inches into the bread aisle before you knew it. She looks crazy. Dakota Kai gets dominated by Jessamyn and Marina Shafir until she makes the tag to Tegan Nox, who comes in, choke slams all around. Tegan Nox has the choke slam as a standard move in her locker. Okay, that's cool. Choke slams all around, cannonball into the corner, shiniest wizard, 1, 2, 3, Team Kick are your number one contenders for the Women's Tag Team Championships. Then we see the Kabuki Warriors appear on the big screen, laughing and joking about how rubbish they are and how next week they don't stand a chance. Ha 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 ha. Maniacal laugh, maniacal laugh. I'm giving this a C+. I know that Shafir and Jessamyn aren't the full products as a wrestling item. I don't think, anyway, in my opinion, and I'm nobody, but in my opinion, I don't think they're quite there. But they're certainly the impression that we get from them is they are the muscle of Shayna Baszler. So they're the bodies that surround the women's champion, and I felt like they kind of got jobbed out here a bit. It was such a quick match with such a very decisive victory. It kind of felt like they got jobbed out a touch. But even so, it wasn't a terrible match. Nothing went horribly wrong. It was all good. It's a C+. Kathy Kelly runs down next week's NXT. We're getting the Kabuki Warriors defending the women's tag team titles against Team Kick. We're getting Io Shirai versus Rhea Ripley. And we're getting the NXT from Off of America debut of Tyler Bate. And he's going to face Cameron Grimes. Some good stuff next week. Main event o'clock. And it's Keith Lee versus Dominik Dijakovic versus Roderick Strong for the NXT North American Championship. This was going to be a barnstormer. And it was. Now, Keith Lee, when he debuted in NXT, he debuted as just like a powerhouse. Didn't do too much, but put on Twitter saying there is more to come. And I've seen matches with Keith Lee in before he joined NXT. I was ringside for a couple of Keith Lee matches, and what this guy can do is incredible. So I was excited to see when we would get, as opposed to semi-skimmed Keith Lee, full-fat Keith Lee. Tonight we got full-fat Keith Lee. And I mean that in the best possible way. Like, this is the Keith Lee that was tearing up the independent scene. And I want to also say Dominik Dijakovic was an absolute star in this as well. Dijakovic just threw everything at this match. Roderick Strong was the perfect addition to this Dom versus Keith feud. It needed a new wrinkle, and Roderick Strong provided that. Straight from the off, as soon as the bell goes, Roddy goes, "See you lads," rolls out of the ring, gets away from it. Dijakovic and Keith Lee corner him, bring him back into the ring. Roderick Strong attempts a shoulder block on Keith Lee, and you can imagine how that goes. Not very well. I think Roddy nearly bounced into the fourth row. Dom nearly wins the North American Championship when he suplexes Keith Lee on top of Roderick Strong. Doesn't quite get it, but that was a fun spot. Dominik goes for a cannonball outside of the ring, off the apron onto the floor onto Keith Lee, and Keith Lee just catches him like he was catching an actual cannonball. Looking to go for a powerbomb onto the apron, and here comes Roderick Strong. Baseball slide, knocks both men to the ground. Now, this match is laden with big man spots, but there's one in particular that genuinely was incredible, where we see Dominik Dijakovic going to do a top rope superplex onto Roderick Strong. Here comes Keith Lee, gets underneath Dominik for a powerbomb, so then we get the combo powerbomb suplex. So Dominik Dijakovic is lifting Roddy for a vertical suplex as Keith Lee is lifting both of them for a powerbomb and nails it. Now, Keith Lee nearly falls out the ring and dies at this point, but apart from that, absolutely nails it. And there's still 10 minutes to go in this match. After that, we see Dijakovic hit a sit-out chokeslam from the top rope, which is amazing. Dijakovic dives to the outside. Keith Lee gives us a tope con hero over the top to the outside. Keith Lee, you maniac! I love you. Please do a podcast because I want to hear you talk more. The finish comes when Keith Lee gets Dijakovic back in the ring and nails him with a sit-out powerbomb from the top rope. Move. Powerbomb. As he lands, literally the timing on this is amazing. As he lands, Roderick Strong appears out of nowhere and knees Keith Lee right in the chops. Bang! Big knee, running style, covers Keith Lee, 1, 2, 3. Roderick Strong doesn't defend, he survives as NXT North American Champion. Out come the Undisputed Era to celebrate, and they just start mugging Keith Lee. I'm furious. Get your hands off Keith! Keep that voice safe for the eventual podcast he'll do. So they're mugging Keith Lee. This brings out Tommaso Ciampa, who's like, nah, lads, we're not having this. This then brings out Johnny Gargano. Oh my God, a DIY reunion. And then in your brain, you're going, this is War Games. DIY, Undisputed Era, War Games, this is cool. Out comes Finn Balor, and we're like, whoa. DIY and Finn Balor, an Undisputed Era, that's happening for War Games. Here we go. Wait, Finn Balor, why are you kicking Johnny Gargano in the head? Finn Balor, turning heel. What? That happened. They did this really well, all pantomime aside. They did this really well. So we have, so Finn Balor goes to take his jacket off, and then he just Pele kicks Gargano. Ciampa sort of turns around and goes, what's happening? And literally 1 second later, the entire Undisputed Era just jump on Ciampa and they just batter him, whilst Finn Balor just destroys Gargano outside the ring, does a running drop kick through the barricade onto Gargano that just wipes him out. So Ciampa and Gargano have just been left decimated by the force of the Undisputed Era and the force of Finn Balor, and this is a heel turn that makes sense. This is a heel turn that was he actually told us the other week. He talked about in order to move forward, he has to go back, he has to find his past. And so we're seeing the past in terms of, Prince Devitt, Finn Balor, old Fergal's back, old Red Eyes is back. Red from the night before. And so this is what we're gonna, so this is it. This is Finn Balor now, not aligned with the Undisputed Era. No. Just happened to be in the right place at the right time. And now he's going for Gargano. He's targeted Johnny Gargano. And the show goes off the air with the Undisputed Era just over a decimated Tommaso Ciampa and Finn Balor standing over a decimated Johnny Gargano. The match, the segment, the turn, A+. This is storytelling. This is great. Everything about the last half an hour of NXT was sublime. Was absolutely sublime, and I'm excited going forward. NXT this week from me gets an A-. Now, I thought about giving it a B+. I did, because everything else has been good but not great, with the exception of the last half an hour, which was incredible, which was electric, which has got people talking. So which is why I bumped it up to an A-. I know a few people have commented saying, oh, you're too nice with the A's, Tom, in NXT. I'm just enjoying NXT. Let's not forget we're allowed to enjoy wrestling, okay? Let's not forget that. A- for NXT this week. Why, Finn, why? And more importantly, Finn and Gargano, when, lads, when? Hey, thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section down below. You can support us on Patreon by going to patreon.com/Cultaholic. Lastly, don't forget to hit subscribe and join us.